Chris Lewis of Crane Lewis Brogdon helped us with some legal analysis from the courthouse during the trial. He's in studio tonight. Chris, thanks for being here. All right, so let's get to it. As the trial was progressing, you pretty much predicted this. You predicted not guilty on conspiracy, and you predicted hung jury on the tax fraud charges, which, good job. But, you know, the question is, why did that eventually end up happening?
Well, first of all, I mean, I agree with Tom Mills. This is historic. This doesn't happen, especially in public corruption cases. The government just doesn't lose. I think they went in with a lot of confidence, and as first of all, sitting in closing argument, you could tell that there were some with the government and there were some with Commissioner Price and the defense. And then as deliberations went on and on and on, and just kind of reading between the lines, you could see that it was very tough for the government to connect the dots. Lots of circumstantial evidence, but there was no smoking gun. There was no witnesses that came to testify who knew Commissioner Price and might know about some sort of conspiracy. He didn't have anybody who turned on him. In this case, make no mistake, this case was never about tax evasion. Those counts were the safety net, and they didn't even get those.
So here's a tough question. Did the U.S. Attorney's Office deserve to lose?
Yeah, they deserve to lose. This is about proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Whenever the prosecution brings a case, they make a pact, and their pact with the jury is, we will prove this. And if we don't prove it, find him not guilty. A jury trial is all about credibility. 4 different times Barbara Lynn had to tell the jury that the government had not turned over evidence.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. Was there a time or two that really were verdict-changing moments in this trial, and did Barbara Lynn have something to do with some of those moments?
Looking at it in hindsight, no, I don't think Barbara Lynn necessarily. She did what she was supposed to do throughout the trial. I think what happens is, now in hindsight, the prosecution had to try a perfect case. You've got someone that's very charismatic, who's meant a lot to the city, or a lot to the county. The jury knew that, but what you had was, juries want this sense of fairness, and everyone's doing things right. And their credibility, not the one time, not the 2 times, but when it happens 3 or 4 times, all of a sudden the jury begins to think that maybe the government wants to win at all costs.
All right, so let's look forward. You said that the tax fraud were the safety net. Those are still serious charges. People go to prison for tax fraud. The government thinks John Wiley Price is a criminal. Some of the jurors think he broke the law on those charges. Why not? Why not press forward with those charges? Well,
they might, but I think at this point in time it would be sour grapes. Thinking about all the money and all the time and now all the resources. And what was the narrative? The narrative wasn't he didn't pay his personal taxes. That was never even mentioned. The narrative was, we've got a corrupt politician who's getting paid for his vote. We need to take care of corruption. We need to take care of this bribery. And John Wiley Price has been the face of that, and the jury just disagrees.
So you're saying the problem, in your opinion, I just want to go back a little bit, is that the government did not bring one human being in there to say, yeah, I gave this person $500,000 because they were going to grease the wheels for me to get that. Anyway, that would have done it, but they didn't have one of those people.
They didn't have one of those, and you heard what Tom Mills said in the lead-in about he thought there might have been some undertones of racism. The real question was,
you buy that? That's a big accusation.
That's a big accusation. I don't know why none of the businesses, none of the people that supposedly profited from John Wiley Price's vote, why weren't they brought in? Why weren't they prosecuted? So that is a big question. Do I think that that there's this systemic racism that's going on in the U.S. Attorney's Office? I don't. But whenever I see these big corruption cases, especially in Dallas County, it always seems to be black politicians. And that, I don't know if that's out and out racism, but it's got to make you scratch your head.
All right. Chris Lewis, thanks. Appreciate the insight.
Thanks for having me.